moving on to the next section, we'll have a session on effective job search and techniques. And we are going to look at CV preparation, cover letters, preparing for interviews, and how to answer some key questions in an interview. We are blessed to have Mr. James La, the Managing Director for Lane HR, to take us through this session. Mr. James La is the Managing Director for Lane HR, and he's been in the business for 20 years. He's into strategic leadership, mentoring, and coaching. Mr. James La, please, if you are ready, you can put on your video and your audio. And okay. So Mr. James La is ever ready for us. I would admonish us all to take our pens and papers, because most of us after here are going straight into the world. And what we are going to talk about is a very, very useful tool that you will need to navigate yourself in the world. So Mr. James La, please, you can take.
Thank you, Phoebe. I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay, would have somebody from the technical team help you.
Okay. Okay, I've seen share. Please, can you see my screen from there?
Yes, please, we can.
All right. Thank you very much, Phoebe and Isaac and the team, for this all-important launch of real estate careers, not only in Ghana, but in the region. The company is called Lene. The name is a French word, and we pronounce it Lene.
Okay, thank you.
Lene. So which means the first, the eldest, and the best. For those who have learned French or who do not know, that is what it means. So I'll be making a contribution or presentation on how to effectively search for a job in today's world. So there's something I always refer to, which was used by a lot of preachers in Ghana. They say when opportunities meet preparation, there is a performance or results. I wish I'll use only this page to explain the importance of preparing for opportunities in terms of job. So good morning to, or now it's afternoon, for our audience from Ghana and Africa and other continents. We are pleased to have you on this program. So preparation is very, very important. And there's nothing you can do without preparation. If you're an athlete, you need to prepare. For a footballer, you need to prepare before you can showcase it. And most of the time when you are doing your preparation, nobody actually sees, unless maybe you reach out for support or for coaching or you review yourself. But when you are fully prepared and opportunity comes, then you are ready to take advantage of those opportunities. So preparation for either finding job or promotion or progressing your career is very important. And I think we've heard it from um, A&L about how it is important to prepare. Preparation is everything. So I'll quickly go through effective job search, dynamics of preparing dynamic CV, drafting a compelling cover letter, preparing for interviews, career progression, and if there's time, I'll talk a little bit about corporate culture. So if you look at this board, from time immemorial, we have had various ways of recruitment or finding jobs. The trends have not stopped. The trends have not changed. It has only improved. So in the past, we submitted hard copies of our application and CVs to a job that we find, either through newspaper, we heard it over the radio. So from newspaper, people started advertising jobs on radio and then also on TV and then on billboards. People even write outside their offices, to indicate that they are looking for a job, and sometimes homes. People post this on electric poles in most cities. And then we also have private employment agencies where you can go and lodge your CV and ask for a job. Today, they have also moved on platforms, so you can now have them online. So you have the job boards today that are online, electronic, and you can search for a job right from your home without moving out. All of these things are all still in operation. In addition to this, we have the word of mouth, job advert, and employment, where you will not even see it appear anywhere. So all these things are still in operation. It's just that we move from one stage to another and add more to what is being done. So jobs are still being advertised in newspapers, jobs are still being advertised on radio, television, billboards, the recruitment agencies are working, and then the online employment tools are also available. Now, some of the trends in recruitment that I have seen working here for years and dealing with organizations across the globe is that some organizations actually employ based on qualification or certification or a type of education that they need. Now, it's because of maybe a requirement they need to comply with. So they want somebody with that qualification. So they employ the person and then they can add the other things they want the person to have. For example, they would then train the person on the skills the person will need to work on the job, and also expose the person to the type of behavior and attitude they want. Then others will employ based on skill and then instill the behavior and attitude. And we also hear that people say attitude is everything. Some employers will employ based on attitude, and then they build the person capacity in terms of skill and also through learning and education to get the certification. All of this depends on the needs of the organization. And these are opportunities open to all of us. So if you don't fall in one, you are likely to fall in the other. So for example, yesterday I was with Kali Ghana, they deal in agrochemicals. And for them, they employ people with agro background or chemical background. And then they teach them how to sell or market the products. So their priority is a technical skill the person has in the field. And then they can add the other things to the person. Some also employ based on local content. And when they can find local content having the capacity they need, then they have to do a skill transfer. So they can bring somebody from external to work with the team to build the capacity. Then they can have a local content working. Then others employ based on cross-cultural diversity. All these things are in play. And depending on how you have built yourself to take advantage of these opportunities, If you are prepared and prepared to miss opportunity, then you take advantage of it. So because of the time, I'll be going a little bit fast. And if you need to draw me slow, please do not hesitate to draw me slowly. So for those of us who have gone through school and have studied courses in real estate related areas, there are unlimited careers in real estate. I'm sure from yesterday and today, you have been exposed to a lot of the opportunities in real estate. In fact, if all Ghanaians had gone through education in real estate and want to work in real estate, there are opportunities available for all of us. These are just a few that I could list here. But the real estate is an ecosystem that provides opportunities. So don't be in the real estate field and be looking for a job that you can't find. And that's the reason why we are going to go through effective ways of looking for jobs or searching for jobs. Sorry. Hmm. So why effective job search matters? As I said earlier, job searching is much more than just applying for a job. If you prepare, you have a better opportunity or chances of landing on a job rather than more than somebody who has not prepared. So you must have a plan, you must have a strategy, you must prepare, and then you must be persistent. Persistent doesn't really mean being on the nerves of the organization you applied for or people you are asking to uh, help you find a job, but you have to be consistent in your persistence in searching for job. You never give up. If your plan is to work for somebody or work for an organization, you don't have to give up in your search for job. If your plan is to start up your own, then you never give up on starting it because of one reason or the other. And I like what Na made, the comment he made at the end. They they she said she doesn't really need, she didn't need a lot of money, or starting such businesses doesn't really need money. In fact, no business that you need to start need a lot of money unless you want to start big at a go. But for any business you start, all that is important is the idea. So to look for a job, you need yourself. And to prepare well, you need to decide on a career path, which is your dream or passion you want to pursue. Once you have decided on career path, you stay updated on industry trends. So keep yourself informed about the latest developments in your field of study or your career, and know about emerging opportunities and adjust your job search accordingly. You also need to research about companies you want to work in, especially the industry in which they are, and you understand the skills that match the role and your passion in that industry and how you need to go about it. So this will help you tailor your job search and increase your chances of landing on your dream job. And to be effective in your job search, you also need network. Networking is a strong weapon. Research has shown that 70% of jobs are never published publicly, and up to 80% of jobs are filled through referrals and network and personal connections or professional connections. So building strong relationship with professionals in the industry is very, very important to maximize your job search. Most of the time, the jobs that you see being advertised, they are advertised because the organization is not finding the right people through their network, or they are not finding the right people within the organization. So before any organization advertises a job, it will have checked their internal process or internal skills to be sure that they don't have it within. So then they will advertise the job. If they can't find it in their network or through referrals, then they will advertise the job. So having important network professionally is very key to you landing on your um, career dream. Connect with professionals, on professional platforms like LinkedIn or clubs. You can talk about golf or tennis or many associations that you can do network. You join those associations because you know what you are looking for. But of course, you start building relationship. So we say you should build relationship. Don't just go asking for job. If you have trusted relationship, trusted friendship, then because of the value you provide to the relationship or the professionals or the people you are in contact with or your network with, it maximizes your chances of landing on your dream job. And it is important, even if you are a salesperson or marketing person, you don't go through a network event and you start pouncing on people to buy your product or buy your service. You build friendship or network or relationship first, and then that will maximize your chance of getting a sale or landing on a dream job. If you attack everybody in the network, they will run away and leave you. They'll be scared of you. At the onset, it will sound like disturbances, so everybody may stay away from you. One effective way of building the opportunity to maximize your job search is also taking internships during schooling. And it doesn't have to be in the university. Right from senior high, even some people do it during their junior high education. And then they get to be exposed to the work environment and know, and even building network also from there. And they know how the nature of work environment is or workplaces, and even start learning the workplace policies or corporate cultures that will build them towards their dream careers. So you also need to use the right tools. Today, there are job alerts, so you can set up job alerts on various platforms to receive notification about new jobs in your area or in your career based on the criteria that matches your career dream. You can also track your applications. Once you have applied, you can use apps or spreadsheets or online tools to track your applications, including the submission dates, uh, company contacts, and interview status. You can also explore popular job boards like LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, and a lot of recruitment agencies are available. You can walk in or you can actually also log on them on their website where they post various jobs that may meet your job search. So key job platform include recruitment agencies. As I said, in the past, we had a labor uh, employment centers in this country that were owned by the government. So when you finish school or when you want a job, you can go there and fill a form and get a job card. And if any company wanted workers, they just drive there and go and pick workers from the uh, government employment centers. But they are no more functioning, especially in Ghana today. But we have private employment agencies that are still available and serve as labor brokers, finding jobs for people or for companies or linking applicants to companies to find their dream jobs. So they have job listings on their website and you can explore them. LinkedIn is one, like I said, Indeed, Glassdoor. Companies themselves are able to post jobs they need on their website. Sometimes they start building up or advertise those jobs on their website just to build skills towards a project they are planning, or to be sure that they are not short of skills. Anytime they need them, they can call them. So for such ones, you may apply, they won't call you now, but they may call you later based on the, their need. But when you apply and you don't get a call, don't stop. Like we said earlier, persistence is very important. So now let's look at how to prepare the CV. CV actually means curriculum vitae. That is the Latin word that stands for course of life. So it's a comprehensive document that summarizes your educational qualification, work experience, skills, and achievements. So we think of it as the detailed overview of your professional journey. So a well-crafted CV is crucial for several reasons in finding your dream job. First of all, it serves as the first impression. Employers will not see you. The only way to get a short list for an interview is for your CV to attract the recruiter. And then they start showing interest in meeting you or learning more about you. So if you don't prepare your CV well, it will affect you. So crafting a nice or clear and strong CV gives you opportunity to get shortlisted. So CV also serves, many companies use applicant tracking systems. So they use that to screen CVs. So if you optimize your CV, that can, the ATC can pick it up during the application process. You have a chance of, and I will talk about how to maximize your CV to meet the applicant tracking system when I get there. Your CV also highlights your qualifications. So your CV is an opportunity to showcase your qualification, your skills, and the achievements. So a well-organized CV can effectively highlight your most relevant qualification for a particular job. And it helps with interview preparation. A well-prepared CV can help you anticipate potential interview questions. And then you can prepare responses for those questions. CV also serves as a professional branding tool for you. Your CV can serve as personal branding tool, reflecting your professional identity and goals. So because nobody sees you at the time you have submitted your CV, you need to arrange your CV in such a way that it portrays who you are and then will attract the employer to shortlist you and give you the opportunity to be interviewed. So let's look at how to tailor our CV to fit a particular job. So one of the most important aspects of CV preparation is tailoring it to each specific job application. I've seen many people use one CV that they have done for a particular job they applied for in the past, and we also send it to another job currently. If even the job titles are the same and the job advert is coming from different organizations, it cannot, you cannot use the same CV to apply for multiple jobs. So it's important you tailor your CV to meet a particular job application. So by customizing your CV, you demonstrate that you have the skills and experience the company is looking for. So ways to tailor your CV to meet the job requirements is important. So one of them The first one is to analyze the job description. So it is not a crime, and nobody will worry you, or nobody will be there to stop you. When you carefully read the job description and identify the key skills, qualification, experiences that are required, you need to do that. And then highlight the identified skills that align with your job, with the job requirements. Highlight them prominently on your CV. So sometimes we all have different perspectives. The words I will use maybe in advertising job, if you were the one to advertise the job, you use different words to describe what is needed to be done as a job description. So what you have in your CV based on your previous job experience may not be using the same words as being advertised, in the current job, but they could actually mean the same thing. So once you have identified this, it is important you tailor your CV to match the words or the description that are in the job. Just make sure what you are saying or you are stating is true. Don't tell lies, but it's important you customize to align with the, the current job description. So use keywords. So incorporate keywords from the job description into your CV. And this is where it will help your CV pass through the applicant tracking system. So if an organization has the ATS and the advertised job, they have certain keywords or phrases that they want to see. Now, when the system picks up your CV and does not identify those keywords, they will drop the CV. So your ability to incorporate the keywords into your CV to match what the job description that has been advertised is, you have a higher chances of being shortlisted or being picked up by your CV being picked up by the ATS. So it is important to always tailor your CV by using the content of the job description to match with the content that you have in your experience and highlight them on your CV as you apply for a new job. Also quantify your achievements. If it is possible, show them in figures or metrics. It is easy for employers to follow. So key components on your CV may include your identity, your contact information, i.e. name, email address, telephone. These are very, very important. And sometimes we overlook these things, when we are applying for jobs. Even today, you may need to add your social media handles because there are various ways that organizations now do a background check. They may want to see how you represent yourself on social media and check whether your activities match their values before they can go ahead to shortlist you. So they will use all of that to do a background check or reach out to you, to be employed. LinkedIn especially, you can actually start your conversation there because it's very private. They can send a private message into your inbox and the conversation about your employment can start from there. So it's important to add your social media handles in today's job application. So another component is a career summary or your career objective. It's a brief statement that summarizes your career goals and highlight your focus, where you're focusing in your career. So it helps the employer to anticipate the line or your career path and whether they should shortlist you or not. It is very important and just gives information about where you are focusing today. Sorry about that. Then you need educational qualification stated, your work experience, in your previous job or current job, you need to state them. Now, a lot of us make mistakes. When we do our CVs, we state the educational institution we attended without stating the years of completion. So we are quick to state even the degree we have without stating the university or the tertiary institution that we have you have attended. And these are common things that we detect when we are doing shortlisting. Others will write the work experience, but they will not state their job title. And they will not also give the date when they worked, the period they worked in the organization. And they don't also give contact address of the organization. All these are important because most employers will do a background check on your previous employer. And it is important you also state your key responsibilities in a bullet form. State your skills and achievement. If it is possible for achievement, you need to quantify them so that the employer is able to pick. What I've also seen missing in most CVs are for graduates who have done projects in the university. They do not state them. But if you have undertaken a project, you need to state them on your CV. It may just be what an employer is looking for, and it can give you advantage. Some also leave out references, and it doesn't, some employers are not happy about it, where you state references to be provided or referees to be provided on request. You can at least provide one or two. And then if the company needs more, they can reach out to you. So it's important to state your referees on your CV. But you have to let your referees be aware of the fact that you have used them as your referees. If you are a fresh graduate, you need to at least have a faculty member, like a lecturer or your supervisor, being one of your referees. It's very important. Places you have done internship, you can use for reference, and any other social connections you can use for reference. Don't use your father or your mother or brother or your uncle. They are not accepted. So use strong action verbs, when setting up your CV. Just like the way we set up our goals and targets, it is important to use action verbs. They help the shortlisters or the recruiter to follow clearly what actually you have achieved. So for example, instead of saying work in sales, you can say achieve 20% increase in sales revenue within a particular period, or increase sales revenue by 20% within a particular period. And you should know, and you should be sure you are ready to speak to it. Just don't tell lies. If it was a team effort, please state you led a team or you were part of the team that did this, and demonstrate what role you played as part of the team. Don't take the team achievements entirely as your own, because when they probe further, you may not be able to answer, and it will appear as if you are telling lies. So I've already said, quantify your achievement where possible. Put it in metrics. It's easy to follow. And proofread your CV carefully. A lot of people don't proofread their CVs. But this is where you are likely to fall out. You may not get shortlisted. Your CV will not pass. You will not be there to explain. So if you are not good at proofreading, or you are in a hurry, you can give it to somebody else to proofread for you, just to make sure that your spellings, your grammar, punctuations, everything on the CV is right. Otherwise, it will give a very negative impression about you or your CV, and you will not advance to the next level. Keep your CV concise and easy to read. Use simple action verbs, simple words, make it a bullet point. It's easy for everyone to follow your responsibility, duties, and achievements. And also use a professional format and keep the same format throughout. When you change the format on your CV from one experience to the other, it's difficult for recruiters to follow. And sometimes the decision maker is not the one who is doing the shortlist. So if the one who is doing the shortlist finds your CV disturbing, they will just put it aside. So it is important to make everything simple and straightforward. You follow a simple and easy format. There are tools like AI you can use to cross-check your CV. After you have written it, you can put it on an AI tool and it can recommend. But after the recommendation, you have to adapt it in your own format. So tools like AI can assist you. They can actually give you various formats, and you have to either decide on the one that you 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 admire, or the one that would meet the job that you are applying for. There is no one standard or accepted uh, format of CV. Just make sure that it is clear, you know, and you follow a standard format. It has to it has to have a professional outlook. So just make sure that your CV is easy to follow. Use a language that we understand and avoid jargons. So I'm sure when I go through the rest of the slides, we'll have questions to ask at the end. So now we come to the cover letter. Some of the organizations that you submit CV online may not require a cover letter. Others will require a cover letter. Most recruitment agencies or job brokers, they don't usually use cover letters because you send in your CV through the portal, and then they will do the shortlisting pre-screen with you, and then do the interview and forward the summary to the final employer to then choose. So some of them don't require cover letters, but some organizations require that you submit your CV with a cover letter for a particular job. And other organizations also have a format for a cover letter. They may give you they may give it to you in a form of a pre-drafted form, and you are just expected to fill in your information. In that case, you don't have much room to maneuver. But where the form, you are not given a form or a format for a cover letter, you need to write a cover letter, and it's required, you need to write a cover letter to accompany your CV. So a cover letter is a personalized document that accompanies your CV when applying for a job. It serves as an introduction to your qualification, highlighting your interest in the position and demonstrating how your skills align with the job that has been advertised and the organization's needs. So key components on the cover letter include your contact address. As what we said on your CV, the same thing is needed here. Your contact address is necessary. Could be a post office, and your telephone are there. Also available to be used to contact you. The employer's address, of course, is necessary. You address the letter to the organization or the officer who advertised the job. And usually they will indicate how you should address your cover letter or to whom the cover letter should be addressed to. And please follow those instructions. Don't just write it to the organization. And then you need to do salutation, just like in formal letters as we learned in school. You address the recipient by their proper title or last name, If you don't have their names, use their hiring manager. So there are modern contexts of doing these things. But it's important you address your CV according to the prescription by the organization that is advertising the job. You also need to introduce yourself. A brief introduction of yourself is key. State the position you are applying for and explain how you learned about the job. Some organizations will always provide information as how you need to apply, either in the introduction, in the body, in the conclusion, and everything. So in that case, you don't have room to maneuver. You just have to comply. But where it is not, you can follow this simple format. Introduce yourself, indicate the job you're applying for, how you learned about that job is important. It also serves as a data a collection for the organization to know how people get to know about their job adverts. Then in the body, you highlight your most relevant skills and experiences that are aligned with the job that is being advertised. So you use specific examples to illustrate your abilities as it aligns with the job. In your conclusion, you reiterate your interest in the position and how or why you are the best fit for this particular role, and look forward to the recipient considering your application for the job. Use a professional conclusion uh, in signing off, such as yours sincerely or just sincerely, yours faithfully, or best regard. As I said, some organizations will state how you should go about this, others will not state. So you look out for the best way to do, and there are a lot of resources you can use to cross-check whatever you are putting out on your cover letter to apply for a job. And then we can talk about preparing for CV. So once you have your CV, you've identified a job, you have applied for the job, you have to prepare for the interview. So this is where most of our candidates have lack, or the gaps we have identified in doing our recruitment work. Today, you hardly find job seekers doing research about the companies they have applied to work for, or even the position. People come for interview and it's just like, I'm here, employ me. They don't know even the current chief executive of the organization. They don't know the organization focus, the trends that are going on, the culture of the vision. They don't do any research and they just come and say, employ me. It is important you research about the company and the position that you are applying for. So if it is possible, visit the company's website to read about them, the about section, the vision, mission statements, their values, and even corporate culture to see whether you yourself you are aligned with job or their mission or vision aligns with you. We have a lot of people applying for a job, being employed and resigning in the first month because after coming in, they realize that no, this organization is not an organization that should be in or work for. So you need to check their values, you need to check their mission and their purpose, and even how they treat their employees before you join the organization. This is very, very important. So gain insight into the company's culture, their work environment, and how employees are satisfied if it is possible before you apply or decide to work in it. Understand the company's position in the markets and challenges it faces. Analyze the job description carefully and identify key responsibilities required, the required skills and qualifications for the position. It is very important, just like we talked about earlier, crafting the CV to match your to match the job requirement, it is important to also prepare yourself this way towards the interview. Use social media. Follow the company on social media platform to stay updated on their latest news and activities. So when I got to know about Isaac and Orient, I decided to go on the website to check about them, even their social media handles, so that when I'm talking, I know the kind of organization or their purpose and their focus. I know the things they are doing. So it's important as a job applicant attending interview, you research about the organization. They may not ask you questions, so much questions about the organization, but because of the level of awareness you have about the organization and what they stand for, it will help a lot in responding to the interview questions. So some of the common interview questions will center on behavioral. So these questions are asked to describe, such as to describe yourself, a past situation, the tasks you perform, actions, and results related to specific skill or experiences. Now, all of the interview questions, there may not be a section where you will hear this is looking out for communication skills, but how you respond to each of the questions that are being asked by the panel and your actions are what the panel uses to determine your communication skills, your confidence level, in the interview. So every answer and every response you make is used to measure your communication skills and the level of respect and regard you have for other people. So there are behavioral questions. There may also be situational questions. These questions present hypothetical scenario for you to, ask you to describe how you would handle them. Or they will pick a question on your CV, some of the experiences and the achievement you said you have. The panel can ask you, in this situation, how did you handle it? Or they will ask you to you have to create the past experience and answer how you handle it. And when you have these situational questions, it's important to state the situation and your role at the time, the task you perform, the action you took, and the results that comes out of it. So that actually shows how you manage projects. When something comes out, this is how you go about it. You don't just run away, you don't leave things hanging, but you take steps to take an action and you get a certain result or look forward for a future improvement in a particular situation. So it's up to you to either create a scenario or they will create a scenario for you to respond. But when you are responding, be reminded that you have to state the situation, state the task, state the action you will take or you have taken, and the results that came out of it, and what you look for in the near future of either the organization or the situation. There will also be a question on your technical skills. These questions assess your knowledge and skills related to the specific role. If the company is employing you based on skill, there will be a lot of questions up and down on your past experiences or skills that you say you have on your CV. There will definitely be a question on the salary levels you are looking for, your expected salary. And most candidates don't answer this question, especially young graduates coming into the job as starters. And even some people who have had job experience will say, oh, I know your company has a salary structure and I'm ready to work for it. Those are not good answers at all. Please, it is important you know your value. After going through all the experiences, one of the things is to check. There are job boards that you can check. For example, we spoke about Glassdoor. they assess organizations, even positions and salaries that are being paid. If you don't have access to those platforms, you can ask your colleagues who are working, you know, and even ask people in the organizations, such positions, what are likely to be the ranges of salary. And if it doesn't fit you, you don't go for. That is, if it is salary that you are looking for. Some are not applying for position because their first requirement is not the salary. It is just to have a leg in the role, and then they can develop their career through that role. So when you are asked about your salary for this role, it is important to state what you know to be the salary you are looking for. But you must have done your research to know that what you are mentioning either compares with the value you are bringing or compares to the role that is being advertised. If you're not sure, please give a range of salary. Don't go without answering this question. If you don't answer this question, it means you don't know your value. If you don't know your value, you can't assess yourself. And nobody will employ somebody who doesn't know the value they are bringing into the business. So we need to prepare well for such questions. Then you have, there will be a question on career path, so that you may be asked about your career path, your career goals. Um, so you have to prepare. Either you should know your short-term and long-term career goals. If now you just want to work for the next 3 years to make some money to also pursue further education, you need to know and state. Don't sit before the panel and fumble. Try your best to decide on career goals. Even if you don't have a career and you just want to work and pursue educational qualification, please state it. It's a goal that you set for yourself. Your goals are for yourself. It is not for the organization. Now, when you state your goals or your career path in the organization or the panel will decide whether it's in line or whether within this period they will need somebody like you to perform that role. But you should stand for what, you should know what you stand for and shouldn't be scared or afraid to communicate. But whatever you communicate before you came for the interview, you should have known what the job is all about. And you try and tailor your current path in that line. And I think that will uh, be more beneficial for you at the interview. Tips for answering effective interview questions effectively. As I said earlier, structure your answers using the STAR method: situation, task, action taken, and the result that will be achieved or has been achieved, and what you look forward to. So you use this to provide clear and concise response. Be specific. Use concrete examples to illustrate your points and demonstrate your abilities. Use simple sentences, phrases, words. Be specific. Don't use jargons that you'll be asked to explain, and it can throw you out of context. Highlight your skills and achievements. As we said before, during the interview, you need to highlight your skills and achievements that are aligned with the role, and which I'm sure, like stated earlier, you have tailored your CV and your cover letter to match those ones. Do not contradict yourself. But if you try to show what do you call it, a sign of contradiction, just feel calm and go back to our line. It is important. Do not panic. The worst that will happen to you on the interview session is to be denied of the job. Nobody will beat you. And the best you can get is to say, yes, you have the job. So highlight your skills and achievements. Practice your answers. Rehearse your responses to common interview questions. Build confidence, and rehearsing those things build your confidence and also helps your fluency during the interview. So it's just those ones are not like structured questions that the panel is likely to interview you. In fact, some interviews are just conversations to enlist some information from you. It may not follow any of this format that we are talking about. So if you rehearse some of these things and it doesn't go that way, and that is what you are banging your hopes from, it may not work. However, it's still important to prepare. And for some of the common questions that may come about your skills and previous experience and your career goals, they are important for you to know them offhand and be able to state them in a simple way. So some of the things to make a positive impression: maintain an eye contact during the interview is very important. Um, People assume that when you don't have eye contact, you are either telling lies, you are shy, or you are not confident. So it's important to maintain eye contact. If you have to take the eyes away once a while, it is fine. But please look into the eyes of the people who are interviewing you as you give your response so that it doesn't create a negative impression about you. Use positive body language. Don't close your eyes and don't murmur. Build some confidence and speak with confidence clearly. Be mindful of your tone of voice. Do not scare the panel with your tone of voice, and dress appropriately. Dress professionally. And when we say appropriately, we all know every job has its appropriate dressing. Some jobs require that you are in a tie. You have to be in a tie. If you were to go for an interview in the mining sector, if you were to be in a particular office, you will be required to dress according to that, how that office team members dress. If you are to be underground, you also be required to appear simple, because at this moment you are not on going underground. You just have to appear decent, you know, to as you attend the interview. So dress appropriately. Arrive on time. Don't arrive late. You may be panicking and uh, feel uneasy just because you are late. So most of the time when you are late for an event, you shouldn't be late. You condemn yourself even before the interview. So that also lowers your confidence level. Be early and settle well before the interview. Be polite with your responses and be respectful. Show enthusiasm, your responses, and if you have a follow-up questions, you can also ask. So that is it about CV writing, cover letter, attending interview, and tips on answering some interview questions. We will now go briefly to discuss career progression, strategies to progress in your career. One of the things about career selection is you either select a career which is your dream, your passion, or where you find yourself putting your daily efforts. So you don't follow a career. Yesterday, I was a friend who loves football. He has passion for football, but he didn't take football as a career. He's a finance person because that is what he found in his environment, and that is what he does every day. So you could have a passion, but your passion may not give you money. So, for example, if you have a passion for agri, but you don't find yourself in the field of putting effort in agree, but you find yourself uh, in an environment where you are assisting people to locate houses for rent and all of that, you and money comes from there. It's important to think twice. So you may not follow your passion to make money, but you can follow your effort to make money. So these are two ways of selecting a career. That you follow your efforts, that is already giving you money, and you can maximize it and become comfortable with the returns you get from it, or you pursue your dream career that you can easily get resources to pursue or opportunities to pursue them. So you either use your passion or use your efforts. Both are okay. There's no point being in one field, putting your effort in it every day, and it's giving you the returns you want. And then you leave it and go and pursue your passion. That may not, you may not have opportunity to put in more effort to get the required returns. So once you are settled with the career, sorry, once you are settled with the career, to progress in it, you need to set clear career goals and pursue them. Then develop relevant skills through education, through learning, short courses, certification, and be informed. Follow industry trends in your career and develop yourself to be an expert. Seek mentorship and networking again at the same time. So you have mentors who can support you. And when we talk about mentors, normally it doesn't really mean that you have to go and tell somebody that the person is your mentor. If it is possible to study the person from afar and imitate some of the things that are giving the person the results, and it gives you results, you can follow the person as a mentor. Do the appropriate network that will help build your skills, and expose you to a progress in your career. Gain experience by taking on challenges. Some of us want to sit until we are promoted. No, you can take challenges projects that are available in the organization that nobody may even want to, or you assign a role and you dump it because you feel that um, it's too challenging. But just by doing that, exposes you to your bosses or to onlookers, you can then say that this guy is good for this. Let's help him to either learn a skill in that field, or you have the competency to be promoted to progress in your career and be in charge. Perform regular self-assessment. Once you have a target or your career goals, and you work along, you study along, you are learning, you are doing the right networks and all of that, you still need to take a break and assess, evaluate yourself. You can do peer reviews about how you are doing, or ask your mentors how you are faring. And then you realign or reset your career goals. Those are also important. And you also have to pursue your the opportunities. You have to ask for the promotion, look up for the promotion. If the job is being advertised and is ahead of you in the organization, it is important that you um, you apply for it. If you don't apply, nobody will just take you and put it there. There is something I used to say. Those of us who drive manual cars, when you start the first gear and you move, the second gear doesn't come automatically, or the third gear doesn't come automatically. The movement of the car, the sound of the car will tell you, the driver, that you need to put the car in the second gear or third gear. It is the same with career progression. You know, your supervisor or your employer or your manager who is watching what you do, the way you take up task can let him or her know that you are due for promotion. what you are doing now is lower for you. You can take up higher responsibilities, and then you progress in your career. So your movement and the sound and all of these are the things that will cause you to progress in your career. And you also, of course, if you are progressing, you need to develop leadership skills. You need to develop analytical skills, take initiatives, you know, and learn how to handle other people. You have to also be a team player, learn how to lead a team, how to motivate a team, how to inspire your colleagues. You don't really have to be their leader before you inspire them. Appreciate the little gains by a team member, and indicate areas that are not being done well and encourage everybody or show how it can be improved. All this will help to develop your leadership skills. Seek feedback from the team and act on them. It will help you to progress in your career. Every member of a team needs a promoter. No matter what happens, you need a promoter. If you want to progress and you are doing something in your corner and nobody is seeing it, there's nobody to talk for you or to talk about what you are doing or the achievement you are making. You cannot catch the eye of the chief executive. You can't catch the eye of your supervisor or your manager. So it's important you have somebody who knows what you are doing, who knows what you are capable of, who knows what you have learned, the skills and the staff you have. That can impact on the organization's goals and objectives or mission and vision. And then they take you as a valuable team member. If nobody sees, you cannot be promoted. So you need a promoter. Such a promoter is to be aware of your abilities and capabilities and then can take it up during senior management discussions and can recommend you actually for a progress in your career. So these are some of the things you can do for career progression. There's another thing I have also been talking about as I work with my team. No manager, no chief executive want surprises. No manager, no chief executive, no managing director want surprises. Because they are leading the organization, whatever initiative that you are taking, or idea you have, or innovation you have, bring it to them, let them know. They are not going to steal it from you. They are not going to take it away from you. They are not going to take the, the name to themselves or the credit to themselves. But it will help them even boast about it in a new ventures that they are planning about. So they are able to maybe even advise you on how to reshape that idea or that initiative. Don't say you want to deliver everything before you bring it, and then my boss will be surprised that I have done this. No, no, no. They don't like that. No chief executive likes surprises. If they know what you are doing, they can even look for opportunities for either for you or for themselves or for the entire organization in line with what the initiative you are bringing. And if you were to wait until you finish everything and brings it and he says, no, I don't like it, what would you have done? You would have incurred his displeasure. So it is important when you are coming up with initiatives that is beneficial, you believe is beneficial for the organization, you bring it up for discussion. And he may just help you to reshape it properly. And you will see have the credit. And that also can help you progress in your career. Continuous learning is important, as I stated earlier, for career progression. Do things that are in line with the organizational objective, vision, and mission. Respect the corporate values. These are recipes for your career progression. And do everything possible in line with the, once you are still in the organization, do everything possible in line with the organizational goal and their culture. So at this point, I'd like to say a little a bit about corporate culture. I believe it's beneficial for employers, especially, or owners of businesses, especially when an organization implements what we term, from HR point of view, we term as positive corporate culture. Corporate culture guides the way things are done in the organization. It represents fundamental shared values and ethics by which organizations operate, and the perceptions, commitments of the staff of the organization, and even the customers of the organization. How customers perceive you is the kind of culture they are seeing. So corporate culture refers to the values, as I said, the beliefs, the behaviors that are common, and policies that are understood in the company. So these policies and values or behaviors determine how employees and management of the organization interact with each other and even with their customers as they perform their duties. It is very important. So now I highlighted some importance of corporate culture here. Positive corporate culture, especially, helps of the organization to have to, sorry, a clearly defined culture helps both management and employees align easily with vision and mission of the organization. So once the culture is clear, that everybody in the organization knows that this is how we behave here, this is how we go about things, it helps everyone to align with your vision. Even clients, if they know, they are aligned with your vision and they can talk about it. For this company, if you go there, this is how it is. Positive corporate culture improves employer brand. It speaks well about you. The company reputation is out there, and it attracts best talent into the organization, and then it helps the organization engage and retain employees. So you attract best talent and you're able to retain them. It also improves performance. Once you have the best talent, it improves how the employees perform. It also improves how you perform on the finances side. I mean, research has shown that positive corporate culture, actually, organizations that practices have more than 30% chances of making higher profit than those who do not practice positive corporate culture. I think I have a study or a book on this somewhere. I'll make it available for those who are interested. So, positive corporate culture also attracts investors. So once your organization has a positive corporate culture, that is very good. You have the employer brand. Things in the organizations are so clear and transparent. It attracts investors because investors want to invest where they can get benefits. So if your organization is performing well in terms of finance or profits or growth, investors would like to put their money there and get maximum returns. Positive corporate culture also minimizes conflict in the organization. So everybody knows what to do, everybody respects the other person's efforts, and it minimizes conflicts, or it makes conflicts easier to manage. But we say corporate culture is like the iceberg. Culture is like an iceberg. It doesn't matter whether it is positive or it is not. Culture is like an iceberg. And this is the reason why we say so. Um, Iceberg normally, a part of it is showing. So most people would say you are just seeing the tip of the iceberg, right? The same with corporate culture. The ones you see are smaller than the ones you don't see. So we normally say the unwritten culture is much stronger than the written one. So the written one is what you hope to have, but are you really living it? So the visible organizational culture represent the vision, the strategy that we have written on paper, shared values. I will say corporate values. We have stated them on the walls, on signboards, on company brochures, the policies, the structure, procedures are written. So that is the way we say we get things done. That is the way we say we get things done. But are we really living it? So the ones that we see are not actually the ones that we do. We do some, but there are a lot others that we need to know. And then when we know the unwritten ones that are so strong, then we are able as owners of businesses or leaders in organizations or even members, non-ordinary employees, we can bring those issues up to be addressed. And we all put our heads to see how best we can make the written or what we want to be the prominent thing that everybody sees and knows and believes and is shared in the organization so that we minimize the unwritten aspects that can if negatively affect us. It is not every unwritten behavior that is bad. Some unwritten behaviors will just be reinforcing the ones that we hope to have and the ones that we say we have. So, but this is the nature of corporate culture. So the ones that are hidden are the way we really get things done here. So if it is positive or reinforcing the one that we say we want to have or the way we want things done, it is very good. But if it is not, you have one culture that you have written, which I see mostly in Ghana, and then you have the unwritten one that is being lived. So you have people telling you, please, even though this is written, but this is not how we do things here. You know, you have to be careful. Then new employees become, you know, afraid, like, okay, so this is written, but this is not how you really live it. So it is important we, as leaders, we understand the negative culture that is being practiced silently and we work against them or we review them. And then we can highlight the positive ones and try our best to minimize the unwritten negative cultures that worry our organization. So positive corporate culture is very good if we can write them and we can leave them, or we have unwritten behavior that are reinforcing them. But if we have a culture that is written, we are not living it, but the unwritten one becomes the norm, we will never get there. So it's like the one who preaches or who tells others, do what I say, I don't do what I do. So research have also come out with 4 types of culture. The clone culture. The clan culture is where the, everybody in the organization live as a family. We have same interests, we have common commitments, you know, we have a sense of strong bond. Then we have the hierarchy culture, where everything in the organization is structured and protocols are set. Unless it is dates, nothing else works. So you just have to follow the policy, to get things done. And if everybody actually goes by it and it works well, nobody hinder the other one, you'll be getting the consistent results, unlike that of the clan culture. Then we also have the market culture. This one is based on performance. What is good what will win us, what will give us the return, what will give us the big name. You know, the focus is on performance rather than, you know, relationship. So everybody is set to work, go and get it. So everybody is strategizing on how to get their deliverables, achieve their target for the year, you know, and that is how the company is measured. Then we have the ad hoc culture, ad hoc, ad hocracy culture. That one is ad hoc. Employees have the freedom and have strong commitment in creating new standards, new ideas. There's innovation going on, you know, and continuous improvement all the time. Now, every organization needs all of this, a bit of all of this to function well. Some have more disadvantages than others, but you need a structure, you also need a relationship, which is being highlighted so much in today's world. Relationship, the clan culture is being highlighted so that we'll have strong relationship as families as we work in the organization. But we also need to respect the structures. The structures will guide us on what to be done next or who is in charge of what. And then we also need a market focus. If we don't have a blend of these and we just use one, we will not achieve our organizational goals. So for example, the clan culture, you have high employee morals and good relationship. Employees may never leave because they are treated as family members. But the weakness is that it is difficult to draw boundaries between leadership and employees. And that is why in some cases where action has to be taken against somebody, then you hear Yemfa or Yemfa Chanu, you know, things like that. So that is the weak part of the clan culture. And then when you go to the other side where we have the market culture, the strength is that there are clearly defined business goals and target to be achieved. So it makes it easy for everybody to focus on their target and don't worry about the people. You know, employees are highly driven to achieve their targets because that is the only language the organization understands. Their culture is that bring money, bring value, bring volumes. So everybody is, you know, sleeping and thinking about how to get the next sale. But the weakness is that it can bring excessive competition among employees and can bring stress. Even not among employees, can be between departments. Excessive competition between departments and employees can burn out, which today's organizations or HR is preaching against. We are preaching against burnout. We are promoting flexibility and agile working. So these are the few things I like to talk about culture. I'm sure if there's time for questioning, some of the things that I haven't covered here would be responded to. Thank you very much, uh, Phoebe and Isaac, for the time. So I'll take any questions or clarifications or contributions on this subject area.
Thank you so much, Mr. James La. This one, almost all of us that participated needs to be given PhDs because it's been, I mean, once within the few minutes, we've learned so much that it's been like taking a whole full degree course on HR related. So I'm not surprised even there's no question in the question box because almost every area, every corner of the topic has been discussed. So I'm not surprised there isn't any question because almost everything a question that will be on your mind relating to job search, career progression, corporate culture, everything, even we, the employers that are sitting here, were sitting, taking note of the great things that we are sharing. And we really thank you for your time. You're a very busy person, but when you reach out, you made time and the wonderful presentation that you've given. So thank you so much. Even, for it's been so many years, but I never knew the full meaning of CV in English. This is the first time I got to know. So we've been very much educated, and we thank you for your time, and you and your team at Lenane. We are very much grateful for the presentation. Thank you so much. So Mr. La is still available if anyone has question, or even our panelists. I can see Soviana Giviano, he is an employer. I'm sure now his recruitment levels are going to change because he commented on getting great talent and people who can do the work. And I'm sure now his notebooks are a lot of full of ideas he's going to engage in recruiting his talent. So if anybody has any question, or even the panelists, there's a comment that you want to make on Mr. La's great presentation, you can. Yes, so all the comments that are coming are great praises. Almost all the questions have been answered. So we thank you so much, Mr. La, for the wonderful presentation. So if there's any question, Mr. La is still online, you can. Mr. La, I hope you can be, is it get your slides to share? Oh, that is okay, all right. Thank you. We are grateful for that. So
I will give it to
Emanuela. Okay, all right.
Unfortunately, Ella had an accident yesterday, so she's in
Oh,
the
that's
hospital.
right. Okay.
But still trying
Oh,
to force and be sure that I attended this
yes.
program on
Ella
time.
has been grateful in the
Yeah.
organization. Yeah, wishing her a speedy recovery.
But Lene
Thank
is
you.
available. We are available for, it's not everything that we charge for money.
Oh,
We
okay.
yeah, we do the campus exhibition like career fairs and clinics. Our career fairs are usually free. We do it on campus. We also have one that we do annually. But if you reach
Okay.
out to me personally or any of our team members for any assistance on some of these specific things or situations, you want to attend an interview, you want to have a chat with me, I will guide you. You want to send your CV for me to review, I will guide you. There's no best way, but when you discuss, some of us have gone, we have seen some things. So we
Yes.
are able to offer a scenario that may reflect the current job that you are applying for, interview or promotional uh, interview that you want to attend. We can assist you. So it's not everything we
Okay.
do for money. We actually
No,
have
but
the Lady Foundation, which is
okay.
helping startups and SMEs. So let's say the amount would have charged to a multinational or a bigger local organization that needs HR services. Once it comes under Lene Foundation, you are an SME or a startup, we have a package for you. That may
Okay.
not necessarily mean you may pay money. So it's not everything we do for money. There are a lot of the things that are for free. And for me and my team members, if you reach out for a personal help, we'll assist you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. La. And even if you are paying money, you witness what you've shared today, that anyone, even if he's to pay anything to access your services, he or she is very sure that he's going to get the best of quality and the best of output from what we
Yeah.
have learned today.
So
Thank you so
I'm
much. So
looking forward to nice business so that we
okay,
start doing
myself, we all come.
policies
All
and
right, we
HR
all come for you to
services.
guide us.
Yeah.
Yes, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, so someone was asking, do you so can since maybe at times companies come for you to recruitment, can a direct application be made to your firm for in case a CV, so that application, so that in case in future a company comes to you, they want maybe so and so, maybe they come to you, they want a quantity surveyor. Yes. A quantity surveyor, so that their CV will be on your files, or even if you can elaborate more of what Lelaine does in terms of recruiting and the outsourcing, so that if somebody needs more some of these services, they can contact you.
Yeah. So we recruit for every organization, locally and internationally. So a lot of organizations are outside. When they are coming into the country, they want to have experts, and we recruit for every field. You know, a lot of the things that we have recruited recently are the property managers. And there was even a time where we had outsourced staff who were lady staff managing properties, working in a property management organization for the organization. So we recruit for every type of construction managers. I think there's even a role currently. So let me say 1% or 1 to 5% of the jobs that we advertise. If you see we don't advertise fake jobs from Lene. If you see a job advert from Lene, it is real. Some of them are directly employed by us. Others are just what the market is looking for. And it's just that we don't disclose the company names outside there. But we have job portals that you submit in your CV. And when we get the request from clients looking for the skills, just like we talked about the ATS, the applicant tracking system. When we do the search, we put in the keywords in our system where your CV has been lodged. And if your CV meets the requirement, it picks it up. So either by title or by qualification or by experience. Now, if you don't, your skills don't match this, your CV may not be picked. So you hear somebody say, I applied for Lene for the past 5 years and I never got a call. It's also just because it means that your CV didn't match any client requirement, and we are professionals. We cannot send people who are not qualified for the requested position. When we do that, we may not get business from the client anymore. So you can submit your CV and follow us for opportunities in that area. If we don't contact you, it just means that your CV hasn't met a job that is being advertised, and that's why you're not being selected. Mostly also, we contact shortlisted applicants, and we will brief you about the job that is on hand, and then you can decide whether you are interested in it. Even sometimes we can tell you the salary range of the job, so you decide whether you want to move in. So day in, day out, company requests jobs for employees from us, and employees also submit their CVs. There's a portal that we have that is self-employed. It's called X Jobs. So over there, you have employers and employees interacting there, and the applicants do tests to a certain level, and their CVs are pre-screened and put there. So the employer can go there and access the kind of employees you want, a particular test you want to have been done. You can request there and it will be done. Other than that, you can submit your CV to lenejobs.com or personally bring it, and we don't take hard copies, but when you bring it, we'll download it and then put it in our portal. Apart from that, we advertise jobs on our LinkedIn page almost every day. And they are not fake jobs. It's just that because of the number of applications, we are not able to get back to everybody. So we normally say that shortlisted applicants, candidates will be contacted. But our jobs are real jobs. We are not even able to find candidates. And that is the irony in our economy. We have a lot of jobs that we can't find candidates for. But every day we hear that there's unemployment in the country. But we have positions day in, day out, we can't find people. Or people come and say they are not interested. So that is also another area. They are not interested in the available jobs. They are looking for specific things and specific amounts. So we are open for submission or to receive CVs. We are also open for recruitment requests from now and co.
All right.
And we'll gladly get candidates for you. So besides that, we do training, we do outsourcing, we do HR policy drafting, employer records, mindset shifts training, a lot of intervention, everything HR, payroll service, we have HR that are so simple that SMEs can use without incurring a lot of